Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Today we're going to be talking about how do you get into these elite groups that are out there for customs. Um, I'm joined by the usual suspects. What's up, Casual?
Oh, you finally called me Casual. That's cool. Thanks.
I mean, I can call you by your government name. That's fine.
Yeah. No, it's going, man. It's going. It's freaking hot over here, and yeah, man. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, no problem. D3, man, hasn't seen you in a little bit. What's up?
Yeah, man, you already know. Just crazy busy, man. Finally got a chance to catch back up with the stream. Yeah, happy to be here. Happy to be back. Excited to talk about this topic and, this recent news. So let's get it.
Shane, the Dark Lord. What's up, man?
Hey, not too much. Crazy day, busy day today. A lot of shit going on, but happy to come here, unwind, talk about statues, and get my mind off shit for a bit.
Yeah, I didn't even think you were going to make it tonight, but thanks for showing up.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either. I wasn't going to be home, and then something fell through. I really didn't feel like going out. Like I said, kind of shitty day, and thought I'll just stay in and do this.
Oh, appreciate you. Thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for the invite.
Anytime. Nice guy. What's up, man?
Hey, thank you
How
for
you
having
doing?
me.
You were actually showing your face earlier, but I guess you got shy again, huh?
I'll fix my camera later.
How's your day going?
Pretty good. Just building Maji cases, but they're taking forever.
Yeah. How many you got built so far?
2 out of the 6.
I mean, you're making some headway though. I know you had some hiccups here and there, so
I still have some hiccups, but they're getting taken care of.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean they're great cases.
I mean, once you do one right, you kind of get the gist of it.
Yeah, I feel like I will need help to stack them because the cases are like heavy. Once I get to the third case, I had to lift it like 6 feet in the air.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna need like someone else to come by and help me push it up there.
Well, I'm cheap labor, man. Just a cold beer or energy drink, I'm good.
So I wish you lived closer, but you live
Yeah.
like at least an hour. And
Well, during the week, I'm closer to you, so
I'll let you know. Maybe once I get everything settled.
yeah, just let me know.
I appreciate it.
Yep. Vision, what's up, man?
He's busy.
Vision,
He's frozen.
can you hear me, Vision?
No, he's busy. He's
He's
buying,
there. He's blinking.
He's buying Prime One.
I'm trying to think my
He's shopping.
my computer just went blank. The screen went off and everything, and I'm like, what? Can you guys hear me though? You guys
Yeah,
hear
we
me?
can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we hear you.
There's an echo though.
My computer just went blank. The screen went off and everything. And
I'm gonna
like,
mute him for now.
I think he's
Very
playing the stream.
Yeah. What's up, Loco? How's your day been going?
Good. Thanks for the invite.
No problem. Anytime.
Got my have you guys seen these yet?
Oh, I didn't see that. That's
oh,
cool.
you hear me now?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
these just came out too.
They came out with different superheroes. What kind of sucks is that each pack is a single character.
Oh man, they're trying to
They don't
do it
mix
a lot
and match.
more.
Yeah, so if you want, they have like the Hulk, they got the Black Panther, they got a whole bunch of different ones, but you literally have to buy a pack for each one.
And people are gonna actually collect them too.
Yeah. Smart on
Hey,
there.
what's up, Matt? How you doing?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
What's up, guys? Sorry, man.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble. I couldn't get logged on. I had to send myself a code and something
No,
else.
you're good.
Go to a different
We
device.
just started, so you're good.
To a fade.
Cool. How's everybody doing?
Matt,
Not
man, you're
bad.
making that
Pretty
white
Good.
like
Good.
very like pronounced now. Look at that. You look like statue Santa Claus right there.
You growing out your beard these days?
So I lost the cord to my trimmer
Shaver?
or whatever it was.
No, just go buy it.
I'm cheap, man. I'm trying to
I
save
know.
that $20 for a new statue.
We were just talking about that earlier about how nobody wants to spend money on other things,
Nobody
but
wants
we'll
to
spend
spend
money.
money, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
So
yeah.
true.
You guys see that? You see that meme going around where Buddy's standing there with the ripped underwear, looking at his statue collection,
Yeah.
smiling.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it
That's-
right there. That's Matt.
Yep,
$20.
sure is. Can't believe it.
Well, say hello to everybody that's in the chat right now. Jojo, what's up, man? Let's see here. Start from the beginning. Luke, what's up? Try not to block you today. So no
Happy
promises.
belated
though.
birthday. Happy belated birthday.
Oh,
Yeah,
happy
happy
birthday,
birthday, man. Walton, everybody's favorite Leatherface. Jojo, like I said, what's up, man? Patrick Thomas, what's up? Ledge, what's up, man? Knight, what's up, man? And I think that's it for right now. But if you want everybody to start getting into this topic real fast, so I was looking through the Facebook groups today, and there was a lot of people messaging me lately about looking for certain groups that are out there, and it seems like there's certain groups that you got to do like certain things to get into the group, like the high end elite like custom groups or the groups that are bigger than everybody else, so that's basically what we're going to talk about today is some of these groups that have been around for a long time or that are the elite or whatever you want to call them. It's like you've got to do certain things to get into the groups. That's what we're going to talk about today. So D3, man, what's some things that you've come across with some of these groups?
I mean, I've only encountered it with two groups. One being that extremely popular custom group that does the larger one. I mean, I hate to say it. I mean, LL. Everybody knows LL. So, yeah, they have a barrier to entry, of course. Logo knows very well about it as far as you have to purchase. I think it's 2 statues, but I've heard about it fluctuating before you can actually get into the group. So,
and the group he's talking about too, there's different groups within that group. So a lot of times, a lot of these bigger groups, they want you to buy into the group, and I've already come across it a few times where somebody asked me, well, I don't know what they have for sale. How am I going to buy into the group? And that's something that I've seen a lot lately is it's just crazy. A lot of people that, you got to buy into the group, but you don't know what they have available yet,
So with that group, the commissioner, if you hit up the commissioner, they'll tell you, they'll show you what's available, what they have in stock, what they have, pieces left of, and you can order from that. At least that's how they did that one. Yeah. I don't know how the others do theirs. I think you just kind of see new pieces that are available floating around out there. You inquire, you find out such and such are doing it, and then they might say, "Oh, you need to have something on PO before you get into the group." So, and if you're already contacting them about something that you're interested in, a lot of times that's the way in too, because it's like, okay, you're coming 2 birds with 1 stone because you were already gonna PO this piece anyway, and then it gets you into the group to see what's coming out of the pipeline. Yeah.
Well, it's rough though when there's nothing that you want from that group, but that you want to be in that group because there's past pieces that are pretty good or that you wanted to buy but you couldn't get into on time or whatever. But it's rough sometimes trying to figure out how to get into the group if you got to buy into it. Basically, has anybody else ever run into that?
Yes.
Are we talking about J&D right now, or
yeah, J&D?
I mean, most groups you have to make 1 PO to actually get into the group invited. Unless they're nice about it, they'll invite you and let you sit around, but you have to make a PO within like the year or so, like the next PO or something.
Mm-hmm.
I've been kicked out of groups because I didn't PO anything.
Yeah, so have I.
Yeah. There's one group recently I was interested in something, but they sold out, so they wouldn't let me in the group, but they said just check their Instagram, see if I want to PO anything in the future.
Yeah. It's rough. Like I said, it's not knowing the process and then trying to get into these groups, and then you've got to PO or something straight off the bat, and to even get it in the group. So, and then some of the pre-orders are timed, so they'll give you like, 3 or 4 weeks, like a month basically to have everybody order whatever they're going to order, that piece or whatever, and then they're going to shut off the pre-order for it. And then that's how many pieces they're going to end up making basically. So it's rough when it comes to that.
Like
what about you, Matt? Do you run anything before?
No, most of the groups, yeah, no, I mean everything you said, it's the same way. You buy into the group or they want you to buy the statue that they're making, and then you can get into the group. The ones that I'm pretty much are in are pretty much invite only. I guess basically somebody's already that you got to come with. yeah, exactly. I understand it. You got to come in with a reference. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So as long as you got a good reference and you're pretty solid. I think the ones that I'm in, they're pretty cool.
But and that's one of the stigmas to the collecting too. It's like, oh, it's a fraternity. Like somebody said that. Breton said that, like, it's a fraternity or some kind of secret society, and a lot of people don't want to deal with that. So it's a turn off for some people, especially too. Sometimes they'll ask you questions like, how did you hear about the statue that you're interested in, or how long you've been collecting. They'll ask you like tons of questions. There's certain groups that'll ask you, and like, dude, it's like a job interview to even get in the damn group. It's like, you really need to ask me all these questions. Like, you can see I'm a collector. I have like all these collector friends. You can see on my Facebook page, but they'll ask you a lot of questions.
To be fair, though, I've had people message me to buy shit, and they had like 42 friends and mutual friends with me, and I found out that they were a scammer. So that doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the group's got to protect their own interest. I mean, somebody can get in there and start spreading all this, whatever it is they're doing, and prices and this and that. Not necessarily prices. I mean, the prices are usually what they are, but it's just, I know if I was running something, I don't want it to be, I don't want everybody knowing everything and sending it to, putting it all over the Facebook groups and stuff. So,
yeah. My biggest issue with the custom groups, some of them, and I know you guys know this, they won't let you in unless you buy something, but you can't buy something unless you're in.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. It's like a catch-22. It's like
the old you can't hire you without experience, but you can't get experience unless we hire you type shit. I hate that.
Sometimes you get lucky though, and you'll see something like somebody to share a picture or something, and you end up tracking it down, and then you get in the group that way. And it's like that's happened to me a few times where I've gotten into certain groups that I've always wanted to be in, and I didn't even know that statue was theirs, and I ended up talking to the commissioner, and then I ended up being in that group because there's certain groups out there, man, that to me, like my favorite group that's out there, they make a lot of statues that I end up liking a lot, and I always wanted to be in that group, and I ended up having to randomly get into it one day, and but then they've got like 3 different groups, so then you got to buy into each group individually, so it's crazy.
I guess a follow-up to all that. Do you guys think like with these like secretive groups or like these hard to get into groups, those pieces always sell for double in the aftermarket, or like not, or way more than what they were originally?
Definitely not.
Not always.
Not always.
Some definitely do, but not all. Yeah.
I would say for like the groups that even have that barrier to entry like that are definitely the more established, well-known, more popular groups that have like a good track record as far as pieces they produce. So like they're worthy of that, so people seek them out. There's an opposite side of the spectrum where there's groups that are hunting for members, like they're messaging you and telling you about their group and asking you to join because they're new and they need people to be in their group and see what's going on and PO pieces. And this is, of course, the more elite ones have that barrier where you have to see people out and possibly purchase something before getting in. Like, so it's like because there's a demand, like that demand is there for them, so they're able to do that. And their pieces might not.
You also know that if that's the case, though, that you probably want to be like if you're really heavy into customs, and if that's the case, you probably want to be in those groups, So, hence the questions and the buy-ins and all that stuff. So, because like D3 was saying, those are the most popular groups out there, the biggest groups out there, and probably make the better statues in the custom community, And in 9 times out of 10, you don't have to worry about those groups delivering, if it's that hard to get into the group. So.
Yeah, that is true. Like, you just got to do your research and know what's for you and what's not. Like, of course, everybody knows LL, and knows that Franco sculpts all of that stuff. So I happen to be a really, really big Franco fan. I like most of the stuff he makes, especially, his X-Men film. So I knew that it would be worth it, buying into the group. After the initial phase where I was like, man, I'm not about to buy something to get in here. Like, just like, I was opposed to it at first as well, but eventually, curiosity, I just gave into it. I wanted to see what was going on. I wanted to be in the loop and be ahead of the pack if I needed to PO something that had a small ES. Whatever.
What about you, Loco? I know you started saying something earlier about some of the custom groups.
No, I was going to say, obviously the smaller, newer groups are much more acceptable, letting people in just to get some traction. The harder groups, I mean, some of them have made you do blind POs, believe it or not, and then and some of them will go ahead and show you. I mean, usually they ask you who
that much more though these days is the blind POs.
Yeah, they ever since the slowdown, those haven't been as much. Even the kickouts, once you're in the group, they typically don't kick out as much.
Explain a blind PO for the people that don't know what that is.
Literally, it's hey, we have such a gambit coming up, and if you want in, great. Here's the price, and that's it.
Yeah, and they don't show you a picture, no design, nothing. You just know that it's a gambit statue, and that's it. Sometimes you don't even know the character, right?
Yep.
They might show you they might show you like the artwork is based off of, but 9 times out of 10, it's not even like it doesn't stick to the artwork. Like, basically, show you a character.
So for instance, LL was known for doing that a lot. LL was they did the Iceman, that big Iceman statue. They did the Cyclops, but those were all blind POs. They knew they were going to do those. Am I correct? Or were they showed beforehand? I thought they were blind POs, right?
So as far as those go, it depends on which one you're talking about. I know the earlier editions were way before me. They were actually took them a while to come up with that one. So I think it was out like 2 years before my time.
Yeah. But those are like the classic ones that everybody, especially your X-Men collector, you sometimes try to get your hand on those. But those are blind POs from what I remember. So
yeah, everything I've seen from them has been like they'll show like a concept art, but once again, it doesn't really mean anything. Like it won't look anything like it. It'll just be the character, and they'll just put the PO open. I know a lot of the more popular pieces sell out immediately, like with the blind PO. But there's some that don't, and you can kind of wait a little bit, and maybe possibly wait until the scope phase. When they have the scope render, the digital scope, and see exactly what it's going to look like at least. Not painted, but a lot of times, especially for LL, they sell out like that Doom on the staircase. I think the ES was what 15, possibly was it logo, maybe 20 around there. So,
yeah.
And people know, once again, it's Franco doing it. A lot of Franco fans, and they have such a repertoire built up already. So people are comfortable with blind PO. Like, there's all those factors that go into it. You can't just be any company and say, hey, we're going to do a blind PO. Like, there's groups that have tried to follow certain things they do and have failed at it. So it shows, like, even if you're a good group, there still has to be some cachet there to be able to do these things, like,
and that's the crazy part too. And those blind pre-orders, they sold out within the day. Like they were selling out within hours of them putting them up there. So it sounds crazy to some people, but it
sounded crazy to me at first.
Yeah.
But
John, don't you mean loco instead of crazy?
Yeah. I'll tell you though, I've been collecting quite a while, and I've been in groups that do the blind POs. I would personally never do it. There's pieces I've been really looking forward to see from licensed companies, commissioners, and I get disappointed sometimes. And I'm like, wow, I'm glad I didn't PO that. So I personally would never do it. It's too much of a risk for me. Although, to be fair, those pieces usually sell for quite well on the aftermarket, but
that's gotta tell you something too, right? Like freaking, they come with so much popularity that there's enough people out there that would do it. Like that, kind of huge kudos to them.
It's when you get that reputation, hit after hit, or that that gift that you have, banger after banger. You know, I know bangers. You know, like
Yeah, I want to answer Brenton's question real quick. We haven't had any pushback from any commissioners. We basically ask permission for everything, and if we go by the same rules we go by on the Facebook group. So everything's done respectfully and with permission of commissioners, and actually invite them to tune in and possibly hop on sometimes too. So never had that issue.
The biggest thing with that though is you don't want to show the a picture of what they're working on and then put their name on it. That's a big no. But stuff that's like from the past or whatever, we can talk about it, and because everybody knows that statue was made by that certain group, so basically if as long as you know the rules and you follow the rules as far as the custom stuff, it's not a big deal. So
it's always better to ask for permission in a custom group, because if you don't, you'll get kicked out if they're not happy with you, and that's that.
And I want to go back and answer Patrick's question too. He asked, would it just be easier to pay the higher price when people like call or resellers on eBay?
No.
And I feel like that's completely up to you. Like, depending on your circumstances. Like, if you do the work, you can definitely find a commission. Community willing to help.
There are enough people in this hobby. Like, there's a bunch of us on this panel right now that are in. Between all of us, how many custom groups are we in? You don't need to pay someone to tell you where to find this piece. That's bullshit. Yeah. That's not helping each other out. Message me if you want a piece, and if I know, I'll point you in the right direction to the commissioner. I'm not going to charge you shit for it.
I mean, that's why we have the Facebook, and that's why we had, that's why we started doing this in the first place. If you're interested in a piece, message me or D3, Shane, anybody on the panel, and ask, and we'll point you in the right direction. Shoot, even Casual, he's in some custom groups. He could probably point you in some groups. So
international custom groups, unlike some of you guys.
I got this. Most of them are international casual.
I know.
But yeah, man, it's not worth it if you're gonna pay. Like, if you really want to pay more, then go right ahead. But
see, I think this depends. Number one, on the availability of the piece, and number two, how bad do you want it? Because number one, if it's sold out in the group and you can't get it in the group, that's that. It doesn't even matter if you're in the group or not. The piece is sold out. And if it's extremely rare piece, you can't find anywhere. It's the same thing as if you want to buy a statue at Spec Fiction. Like I saw, a Storm up there at one point for XM Storm for $3,000. Same thing with the Phoenix at one point. So it's like, and there's people that buy it. There's people who are like, hey, I can't find anywhere else. I'll just rather buy it from this guy. I don't care if they upcharge, whatever. So yeah. I mean, it's up to you and depending on your circumstances, but there are plenty of outlets, and just know that there's cheaper and more expensive ways to pay for something.
And just ask.
How much you just do your due diligence, you can probably, get away with things cheaper. Not get away, but, find a cheaper route to a lot of things in the statue community. And that by being patient, just ask questions and be patient.
Even if the statue sold out, it's worth following up with the commissioner, because people drop all the time.
Once shipping comes around, everyone seems to have shallow pockets and people drop out. Everyone knows that.
That's being D3. I've been talking about that. There's Loco. You brought it up. Maybe talking to the commissioners and see if they have extra pieces, and maybe put them up on the group or talk about it here, so that way maybe help the commissioners out sell their pieces, because I know sometimes they hurt to sell some of the pieces that they've got going. So we might be doing that. I might talk to a couple commissioners and see what I can work out. So that might be
And sometimes they sell it at a discount.
Who's that?
They subtract the deposit.
What this dude was taking a break. What'd you say, Kevin?
Oh, I mean, some commissioners are nice, and they just kind of like discount it and just pay the difference from the deposit. The people that ghosted them. Yeah. Some of them, not all of them.
Sometimes you can get a good deal that way.
Yeah, it's not all the time, but it happens. I've seen it happen a few times.
No, I gotta say too, like you guys, I think one of you guys mentioned just speak to the commissioner, but be persistent too. Like don't bother them as much, but like, hey, follow up, every month. or every week or something.
The worst part is when they ask you, "How did you find me?" You're like, "Shit, do I tell them? Do I not? Oh man, no. Do I write it out?"
I've had that happen before too. And you're in that limbo moment, like, am I supposed to be here or not supposed to be here? Am I gonna get my guy in trouble or not? You know?
Yeah, I've run into that quite a few times too. So that was the one of the things, like we were saying earlier. It's like a list of questions they ask you sometimes. How did you find me? I've had people ask me how long you've been collecting. What do I collect? How many custom statues I have? I mean, the whole list of it. I'm like, why do you need to know all this information? But
did you ever think it was fake? Have you ever thought that was fake? Because I remember I talked to one commissioner and they just sent me like the PayPal for the down payment, and I was new and I didn't know you guys like that had the conversation, and I'm thinking like, man, he's trying to scam me because he just simply like, this is the information, this is the deposit, this is week one, and then I didn't know nothing of it, so I was nervous, like, nah, I ain't trying to get me. I ain't like give you one of those stories.
We've all been there.
That's why I was always scared of it until I met you guys down there. Right?
But like you said, it's nice to have a community that you can ask and say, is this guy legit, or are you in this group? That's part of this, so
the history too. If they delivered, if they haven't done any, some will have 5-6 POs and haven't delivered one yet.
Yeah. That's something you gotta look out for is, just like D3 was saying earlier about doing your homework, see what they've delivered and how they delivered it, if they keep up the communication, all that. That's all part of being in a good group,
Yeah, if the group's like silent for months, people get worried, and that just makes everyone pull out their deposits and their pre-orders. It makes the group kind of fall apart.
You'll see what a good group is if once you get in one, you're like, man, this is nuts. This dude's like updating us every other month on the statue. Like sometimes it's too much information. It's like, dude, I don't need to know all that, but it's still cool at the same time.
Every time they make one change, you see 30 pictures of it.
Yeah,
it's cool,
which is cool. But you'll see the difference once you're in one of these bigger groups that does that, and they're very communicative. They're like, there's a reason why it's hard to get into them, because sometimes they communicate and let you know everything that's going on. So
some of them have group chats too, like take feedback to improve it for the people that actually bought it, to help improve the prototype paints and everything.
I gotta say too, like if you get into those groups, you should be like at least favorite them, or like keep up, check them out every day. Because I know one day, like they put up like a Thanos King, right? And I thought it was posted up like 5 hours ago, and I was like, oh crap, I missed out on this. I was so pissed. I was like, this is the number one thing I refresh, and then I missed out. I thought I missed out, but just add it to one of your favorites if it's a group like you're interested. Like sometimes they drop stuff too, like that Thanos King. They just dropped out of nowhere for.
I know my Facebook app normally, like there's certain groups that I go to all the time, and those are the ones that are at the. What was that?
As a casual nerd problems.
Yeah, you're like number, I think, nine. I think. So you're top 10. You're just not all the way at the top. But
you too.
all the list on your groups that you have on Facebook, it prioritizes all the groups that you go to. So
yeah, definitely.
Some more questions. Have you noticed that a lot of final shipping payments hit all before Chinese New Year? Yeah, because everybody was trying to ship everything out before the big break. They all do that. Even licensed companies probably you see an uptick in final payments and shipping because they're trying to get out before Chinese New Year hits, before everybody's taking that big break, and that causes problems too with some of the statues because everybody's trying to rush before they get out on that break. I mean, look at LBS Hulk. That's a prime example. That hit right before Chinese New Year. It was shipping out. I mean, they were having problems with it beforehand, but still, that's a prime example, I think.
Haste makes waste, man. Anytime you move too fast, anytime it's crunch time, people start paying attention more to money and getting things out quickly than actually making sure things are sent out properly. I don't like that whole Chinese New Year rush. I'll wait.
Well, I mean, it happened to me. Like when I had like 3 or 4 different statues come up for final payments all at the same time and shipping. So it happens.
Yeah, my suggestion is if you can hold off on the shipping, pay it off and wait till after Chinese New Year's. I've seen more statues come in damaged before Chinese New Year's. I don't know if it's because they're all trying to shut down and get rid of their shit, or I don't know what it is, but I'd rather wait till after Chinese New Year's to get it delivered, personally.
It's like that mad dash out of work on Friday evening, you know, when it's time to go. Like, it's like
Carrier shippers throwing their shit all around too. Get it out, who cares?
oh, thank you. And then you're pretty much coming off of the holiday season too. So that whole time frame just
it's a whirlwind.
time, yeah.
You know, it's a bad time.
first quarter and last quarter.
He's asking, some groups make too many and they can't keep up with so many projects getting pushed back for years. So I know that definitely happens. There's a certain group that I'm in though, like he's always like got stuff constantly going and he doesn't seem like he has that problem, you know. So I guess it's just certain groups. It's not all
even he has a ton of stuff that's like people have been waiting on for years, like 3 to 5 years. Like,
yeah, I've seen past projects that he, you know, 2 or 3 years later, like you said, automatically it'll just pop up one day. He's like, hey, I've been working on this, and like,
because he always says, oh, we're still doing it. He says, oh, we never canceled the project. We're doing everything we ever announced. And I'm just like, it's so crazy, but it's hard to believe that because they've announced so much, or teased so much. So, you know, people go back to posts from 2-3 years ago and like, hey, is it still getting made? He'd be like, yep, it is.
And he's got 3 groups. So it's like,
yeah,
it's nuts. I don't see how he can keep up with that much stuff. Like he's putting out more stuff than, you know, some of these licensed groups.
Yeah.
I think it's the factories play a key in it too, right? So depending on which statue goes to which factories, some of them are quicker, some of them don't have as much work. So it all gets spaced out at different times because you'll see stuff that came out earlier and the later stuff doesn't show up and they're being released, right?
Yeah, that is true.
Mr. Pro asking, are we going to unbox the XM Sentinel? Not tonight, man. Probably this weekend, Friday or Saturday. I'll make a day to do it. So I still got to. I don't know if you guys noticed, but my room's a little bit of a mess right now. I moved everything again. I don't know how many times that is.
It's not messy. It's just a little tight.
Yeah. So I got to build one more shelf to put it on, and then once I get that shelf built, we'll do an unboxing. So
Are you doing it live on air? I know you said you were going to originally, or you weren't sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it live on air. I'll probably get the hard part over before I do the live because my wife, I don't know if she wants to be on air or not, but she's gonna help me put it together, like the legs. It actually takes 2 people to put it together. So
That'll be cool, man. I always thought that piece was sick. It's huge, gigantic. I know a lot of people have an issue with no Wolverine, but I mean, who doesn't want a Wolverine? But overall, that piece is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those pieces too. It's like people forget about it. People forget, like when you hear like, you know, XM's top pieces and this and that, I think people forget that piece exists because it's just not.
I completely agree with you. I forgot about it, actually. Yeah. When I saw your trade, I was like, I thought you were getting the Iron Studios. And then I saw it. I'm like, oh, yeah, fuck, XM's.
Yeah.
I forgot.
So, yeah, it's one of those ones. It's very hard to track down if you're interested in getting one. So, but I'm lucky. I knew a guy. So
when you register, the ID underneath it tells you how many in your state. I'm curious
really
how many of those sit in the state.
That are in the state? In my state or
in your region?
Really? Okay.
So it'll be like America and
0.
Only his.
I think the guy I bought off of Ronnie, I think he was telling me there was only 20 in the United States. So I don't know if that's accurate or but
that might be why. If you register it, it should show you.
Yeah.
Can you register every victim piece or just that one?
Just
Oh,
XM
oh,
Studios.
Any of the XM pieces.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's up, Danny?
Sweet Danny Lee.
Oh,
Is it
Danny's
true-
in Dallas this weekend, I think.
Yeah, I might be meeting him to go get some barbecue this weekend, so we'll see.
Are you in Dallas too?
I'm about 2 hours from Dallas, 2.5 hours from Dallas.
Shit, you guys are really close to KFET. He lives in Dallas.
Oh yeah.
But- Hey, let me know what day you're meeting him up. I might be free, or maybe I'll meet you up too.
Yeah. I think tomorrow. I think the Saturday. I think we're gonna end up getting together. So
Texas hookup.
yeah.
Sounds
Texas
dope.
Roadhouse.
Texas Tango.
Take him to a good place because like that guy. That guy. needs
Well,
to go.
you know, his girl's from out here, so she knows the spots. So
Okay.
Hey,
you know, pause, right, Danny? Pause.
No pause, he said.
this is Adam Carter. He's that archangel in his icon is a statue he produced. He has one of the more popular groups out there.
Yeah, he's got a lot of good pieces. Adam's group.
You see, this is something that I never even really knew. Just message the commissioner with the pick of your collection. I didn't know the pick of your collection was something that, you know.
Interesting.
People
I didn't know that either. Actually,
It's showing proof that you've bought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
That makes sense.
Who referred you, and like, you're just like Shane said before, reference and a piece in there group you like. Makes sense.
Since it's slowed down, it has been a little easier to get into groups versus when it wasn't slow.
Thanks for that, Adam. Appreciate that. Thanks for
I mean,
that.
at the end of the day, if commissioners don't let people in their groups, they're only screwing themselves out of money potentially. So
Yeah.
I understand you not wanting to get out of hand. Maybe the word of mouth spreading too much. I understand you want to limit the people because less people, less chance of scammers and shit like that. I get all that, but realistically, some of these groups don't let people in. Sooner or later, you're going to lose people, and you're going to have no one to buy your statues. So
Yeah.
I think it's a balance. Like, you gotta. I do think that, you have to pay attention to who exactly you are letting in because, I guess more. I don't know if it's as big a risk now, but of course, in the past, it was a risk of catching a lawsuit, copyright infringement and all that. And now, I guess it's more about, especially in this type of economy, like making sure you have people that are actually going to purchase and not just
Exactly.
And
look
then,
at it all the time.
and then I'm sure you have those guys in the groups that don't buy anything. They're just in the group, for whatever reason that but they don't buy anything. So why even be in the group then? So you're taking up somebody else's spot that could be in there, and they'll buy something. So
And they generally do, just the maintenance as far as the group members, and occasionally pick out members and kick them out who aren't active or who never buys.
mhm.
Not all of the groups do that. There's some groups that are just, once again you can tell the good characteristics of a group and bad ones once you deal with a few of them and see how they all operate.
yeah, just like with normal groups out there that you're in, you can tell what groups are good, what statue companies are better than others because for whatever reason that you think they're better, they show it to you. So whether it be communication or updating you or whatever, you can just tell after a while what group's going to be better than the other ones.
It's funny. Like in general, like I feel like everything you guys are saying goes with licensed companies, but not to such a
Degree.
yeah.
Yeah.
For some things, obviously, having to buy into something, secretive is a custom thing, but there's the same principles apply to a lot of the things. Do your research, all that stuff before you buy something, all that. So
Yeah, because we're talking about commissioners not letting people into groups because you don't want it too big or whatever, but it goes the other way too. There's commissioners out there who have scam people. There's commissioners who are Zimbabwe hitmen, and there's a bunch of crazy stories with these commissioners out there. So it works both ways. These guys could pack up with your money, and that is the risk with customs.
yeah.
With that being said, the ones who are here and established, people know who they are. But unfortunately, even established commissioners have fucked people over before and left with their money.
License companies too, you know. So
well, they can go out of business. Go out of business for sure. That doesn't happen as often, I would say, as a commissioner, you know, leaving town with your money. But it's a risk you take in the hobby, a calculated risk.
Well, I've got a certain set of skills, so go ahead and hop out of town if you want to. I'll find you.
That's a good clip right there.
Patrick was asking about that Weapon X. I guess it's going for $3K. I guess. I think
I saw one person selling it for $3K, and they dropped the price to $2.5.
Yeah,
because nobody bought it.
Whether that's what they want for it, or if they end up getting that or not, who knows? But the original price, I believe, was 15. So
3 weeks ago, someone was selling it for $1,500.
Well, that's retail.
Yeah, it's retail.
Yep, they were selling it for retail.
I mean, I think that's only fair, especially if you're talking about, like, you know, you have a lot of people are selling it and they haven't gotten a piece in the hand. Of course, we know with these pieces that have high shipping, you know, people trying to offload them when every time comes because they want to pay for shipping, or maybe they're just really not interested in the statue anymore. But I think it's unfair to charge double the price on a piece that you don't even have in your possession. Like, you know, I mean, I understand, like, if it's reselling at that value, it shouldn't matter, but it just seems unethical to me.
I mean, that's a whole other topic, I guess, right? We're talking about flippers essentially, and my take on flippers is no one likes a flipper. Flippers don't like flippers. No one likes a flipper. You don't like to pay this extra money for.
Not even a flipper. Like, you know, I think a flipper intentionally, buys a piece to do that. Like, I'm talking about somebody who genuinely just, you know, maybe things change and they can't afford the shipping, or they really feel out, like, you know, they just genuinely want to sell it. Like,
but at the end of the day, they're allowed to post it for whatever they want.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't necessarily like it either, but they're, you know, it's their right.
Matter of fact, I saw somebody post a statue the other day for way under retail, and somebody got, you're bringing the whole statue, you know, resale.
Yeah.
Dude, I was like, wow. Like, he really tried to get into him about it. Like,
see, I didn't see. I wish I would have seen that post.
Yeah, because he was selling it for like half the price, and the guy was like, "This is why the statues aren't selling for what they used to." It was this whole big thing. I was like,
people like you giving other collectors a good deal.
Yeah, how dare you? Like the one statue that you get a good deal on is bringing the whole community down, right?
Right.
And I think that one he was running into an emergency too, right? So it's just like
it was something like that. Like, he didn't want to
sell. What piece was it? Do you know?
I don't remember. It was like a week or two ago, I think.
I remember seeing it too, though.
But I just thought that the conversation was ridiculous. I try not to engage in like the ridiculousness sometimes, because it's just like,
it's stupid.
That's so stupid, dude. Like, if he wants to sell it for $1, he can. That's his prerogative.
If you don't like it, pay him full price for it.
Yeah.
I have never seen anyone shitting on someone for underselling a statue before.
I've seen it a few times.
I've never seen that before.
I understand the concept, you know, because, you know, in a market, you know, all of those transactions, they have an effect on how the market, you know, fluctuates. So I understand, like, the concept, but at the same time, to openly criticize somebody for what something they're free to do is a no-go. So it's like, you know, there's two sides to it, but, you know, you're always gonna lose that battle if you're openly criticizing somebody on the price they put a piece at, unless it's just like super overpriced. You know, that people will band together and criticize him. But other than that,
yeah, that's for sure.
I don't know. I think we're all kind of tired of the drama in the community these days. So, you know, let's not do that. You know. So.
Yeah. No, I've had it done to me a lot. I joined this RoboSend Transformers group to try to sell this Optimus Prime. And every time I posted it, you know, it's got so much flack about the price, and this one dude literally made a whole post basically talking about how somebody can get it in Europe for $10 cheaper. And I was like, really? Like, like, I'm obviously not trying to sell to somebody in Europe. Like, I'm trying to make a local deal of anything. I don't even want to ship it. Like, and you're talking about $10 cheaper.
You're such a piece of shit, Dwayne, scamming people in Europe.
I was like, all right, bro. And the crazy thing is, the admin kept banning him. Like
Does
he's
anybody
always,
have anything else about like getting into these custom groups? If they any kind of nitpicks or tips or anything as far as what you've experienced trying to get in these groups?
No, I definitely gotta say that. Like, I think that was your whole gist of opening up this YouTube, right? It's just
Yeah.
like to share this type of information.
Yeah.
While I see like other custom groups or other YouTubes or groups like not wanting to share because they wanted to keep it private. I feel like with these type of like hobbies or the hobby we're in, it's like the more the better, right? Like more people, and it makes if it's tougher for you to get that piece, it's like it makes I feel like it's a little bit more fun,
It's always been about the because remember I got on your show and it was like customs were like a foreign subject to a lot of people on these shows, and it was all like bad information. It was all customs are evil and all this stuff. So it's like
on my show, like I'm kidding.
Of course, on your show. I think you had a pitchfork in your hand at one time, but it's. And I've said it before, and I said it several times already. There was something missing with the customs that nobody wanted to talk about them. Nobody wanted to share information about them, and that's kind of what we're here for. That's why the Facebook group. If you have any questions, please ask. I've already like this week alone. I probably answered 15 or 20 people messaging me asking me how to get into a group or what, and I don't mind, just message me. I get back to you as soon as I can. Sometimes I get busy, but that's what this is for. So,
and just to speak on that, if you go back about 3, 4, 5 years ago, you guys doing this show, I don't think would have went over very well because custom groups were a lot more private back then, and there was fewer of them. Now there's 1,000 custom groups out there.
They don't seem to care as much. Like
now they don't, but back then they did. They were a lot more hush and secretive. Now they're a lot more open and forthcoming. Yeah. They're coming on these shows, and they're back then they were just scared. They didn't want their name known. They didn't want So it's good to see.
Yeah, definitely. So, but anybody have anything else before we get into pictures or?
No.
All right. All right. So this is a custom Venom transformation that is pretty much getting done with production right now. You guys see this?
I saw someone selling this week.
What do you guys think about this?
I think Art, the statue collector, reviewed this one, right?
He reviewed
I think he's
both.
got it coming in, I think, doesn't he? Or does
no, he just reviewed the prototypes, the comic one and the realistic one.
Yeah, that's right.
What do you think about it?
It's not my version of Venom that I like. He's too big. I don't like my Venom looking like the Hulk or the Juggernaut. I like him being big, but that's a little too big.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous, I think.
Yeah, it's not my style, so I don't know if that's accurate to a comic book. I'm sure it is of some comic book of Venom, but it's just not my style. I'm still a OG XM fan. That's my Venom.
Yeah, like I liked the Eddie Brock statue. Like this looks kind of cool with the transformation, but the actual Venom portion of it's like I can see what they're trying to go for, but they just overdid it, I think.
I could see it too with the symbiote in the back, but it's just so big.
Yeah.
And it's like I feel the same way, but I do feel like the piece is well executed. Like it's sculpted very well. Throughout the whole phase, production, everything looks great on it. I think they did resize it at one point. The portraits on the Eddie Brock are great. They're great. He has a great transformation portrait.
Yeah, this right here, it looks really good.
Yeah. It's a really nice portrait.
Like Eddie Brock is my favorite part of this whole thing, I think. But
it's just a good piece. It's just that that large hulking kind of Venom is not everybody's cup of tea. But this is a newer group too. I think they started about a year and a half, 2 years ago. Really good guys. They're running the group really great, and they have another transformation coming up. I think it's Black Panther. They have a Black Panther transformation where he's in his suit and not in his suit. And there's a big panther on it as well.
I feel like
series.
Go ahead.
I feel like the conversation was like they went to the factory like, hey, what is this? The factory was like, you told us to do this.
It's what you wanted.
Yeah.
Like I would just like this the Eddie Brock. Like that's a cool piece in itself. Like you can see him transforming and everything. Like if they would if they would have just toned down the Venom, like he's too bulky. Like he looks like Rhino in a Venom costume. Like he's like a big old dude.
Big.
Yeah.
If they would have done a Hulk pose where Eddie was on the ground, similar to where Hulk, Bruce Banner's going crazy, and then have Venom behind him, less. Yeah, I'm assuming they went that big to make him, larger than Eddie. But that would be cool. Him on his, similar as Peter Parker ripping off the
like if he was on one knee,
or put him on a riser, put him up above, like higher up instead of on the same field as him. Like right here, like put him on a higher base.
Yeah, I could see that.
The paint doesn't look too bad. The paint doesn't look too bad at all.
What's the price on this? Is it a 1/3 or 1/4?
It's 1/4.
It's 1/4, but it's massive.
I think it's
Very
massive.
big 1/4.
Like I love this transformation. Like this sick.
That Wolverine in the back with the transformation too.
What's that?
Look like that last picture you look in the back, like behind him is a Wolverine one.
This?
Oh yeah.
That's just his hair. That's just his hair right here.
It's just
it is
blonde hair.
there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was Wolverine too.
Oh yeah, I could see it. I see what you talk about.
Yeah, it's cool, just not for me. That thing is massive. Wow.
This is kind of fun. I saw this earlier today. I guess she dressed up as Jubilee, and she's painting Jubilee statue. I think it's a pretty cool Jubilee statue, though. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Can you zoom in? Like,
it's kind of seen as a grail because it's rare and it's never sold.
Was it a kid only?
I think it's. Say it again.
Was it a kid only?
Yeah, the kid only. And I personally think it's kind of dated. This same group is in the process of like making another Jubilee, a new one, and there's another group doing one as well. So there's at least a couple. And
I just hate it when they make Jubilee over sexualized. Like
I don't like that either. I
this
don't
is
like
good
that.
though, right?
So I
Yeah,
really like this one.
this is not sexualized. This is like true to their nature.
Yeah, I really like this one. I joined the group, and they literally kicked me out the week before this one released. I was so pissed.
Oh damn. So
But it turned out good, I think.
yeah, the paint job is amazing. She did a real good job.
You're posting too many loco pics. Loco.
And then we got a custom. Who's this guy?
Aquaman.
Aquaman.
Fish guy. Yeah, that
Fish,
Aquaman.
fish. The guy that talked to fish. Did we talk about this before? I thought we talked about this before.
I don't think so.
A while back. I think it's was mentioned again this week. That's why it's popping up.
That's cool.
I thought that's pretty dope. I think Shane was wanting this, right? Shane?
Yeah, it's my favorite Aquaman statue, and I'm a big Aquaman fan. It's my favorite statue. What would have put it over the top for me is if he would have had a harpoon left hand switch out. That would have been the quintessential Aquaman. But
Do you collect 1/3?
that's 1/4, isn't it?
Yeah, but LBS is doing what you're asking
Yeah.
for.
So I have a few 1/3s on pedestals, but for the most part, like 95% of my collection is 1/4 scale.
Hey Shane, have you spoken to the commissioner about possibly trying to include that swap out hand, harpoon hand?
No, I haven't, because I thought it was already a done deal. And honestly, if he's making an Aquaman, I just assumed he already considered doing a harpoon hand. I mean, that's a pretty definitive look on Aquaman. So I assumed he didn't do it for a reason. Maybe he didn't want any switch outs, or I don't know. But no, I didn't think about it. I thought it'd be too late.
Sometimes if it's still early enough, I mean it's only a render that's been shown. So
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, maybe I'll reach out to him and just ask him. I find it really weird because that hand right there would be perfect for the switch out. Like it's got the wrist brace and everything.
Yeah, just
That
cut
would
it
hide
off
a seam
there.
line. Like
Yeah.
that would look really good.
I'm sure they can add it if they get enough interest.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they didn't have it to begin with, though.
It's, two full torsos for this Aquaman.
In a stand.
And it's
Yeah.
that was good.
And you can choose like a between the big base and the little base.
It looks good. I like this.
Remember the Aquaman with like the killer whale and the dolphins? You see that one?
Was that a custom?
Yeah, I think Mr. X had it. It's huge.
Oh yeah, that's.
I remember the XM one that they had with he was riding a seahorse.
Oh, that was cool. Yeah, it's 1.6.
Yeah. And then I got this. I like this, Mr. Fantastic, a lot. Like the pose and everything. Like there was another one that another group made, last year, I think. But I like this pose a lot better.
This is the best Mr. Fantastic statue I've seen.
Yeah, same.
I've seen another good one with the arms crossed, but I prefer this one. I like the suit. I like everything. This to me looks like an XM statue, like XM 4 years ago. This looks like something they would have done.
The portrait is not 100% there for me, but it looks,
I agree.
good.
I think it's his eyes, right? His eyes are too big.
I don't know what it is. It just doesn't. It feels off. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look like Reed Richards.
That is a cool.
So there's a guy who's basically running a STL studio, I guess, and he's putting out these files for printing and painting. So so it's basically an STL file. And I mean, I think this is one that's kind of showing how good they're getting and like how they'll soon be indistinguishable from a major studio putting out a render. Just like you said, it looks like it's something XM would do. So
yeah,
I'm really impressed with that. Still not enough to make me actually go buy the file and go through the whole process, but
yeah.
It's
You guys ever buy an STL file and get it printed?
I've considered it, but getting
You
it
can get them off
painted is the
eBay too. Like
problem.
somebody will print them off for you, and you can just buy them from them on eBay.
Yeah, that's true.
There's one guy that I think he prints in the U.S. He does he does a lot of he does a lot of prints. That even his prints are pretty good.
Yeah, Bond is who I would go to if I ever did do it. When I did consider it in the past, I didn't even know where to start. So just kind of intimidating. But now I do know if I did want to, eventually hop into print my files. Like it's a pretty easy process. You just gotta have the money.
You definitely have to like the piece because I think it's almost going to cost you as much as doing a custom to begin with.
Or more, depending on the painter.
To print it, to paint it, and all that.
The painting is it's definitely to make it break as far as
so, and the resale, I would suspect is probably not going to be as good as if you did a custom. Typically, you'll have people who want to buy the custom versus an STL file print. They're not looked at as a good thing for some reason. The only people who save money are usually people who print and paint themselves.
The thing is, though, there's like how many Mr. Fantastics out there? I guarantee if they don't make any in the next couple of years, if you want to sell this, it'll sell because it's a good Mr. Fantastic. Like I would buy it from somebody if it was pre-painted and everything, like and it looked this good. I would buy it.
There is
really
one
quick,
group that is doing it.
I think Vision has to go, right?
Oh, I gotta head out in a bit.
You gotta go. Oh my bad.
But no, I was gonna say there is one group right now. They take votes on which they see STL files. They actually do print them and make like 30 copies and have them pre-painted at the factory too.
Yeah, I've seen a group do that too.
Yeah.
How much are you guys saying? Like, what's the guesstimation on like the price to print?
Print to $300 to $400 depending on the size, and then another couple $100 for paint, and then you gotta include shipping it depending on where your painter is.
Okay.
So you're still spending over $1,000 easy. But I'll catch you guys later. I gotta head out.
All right, man. Take it easy. Thanks for coming on tonight.
Later, man.
Later. I'll catch the
Thanks,
replay.
guy.
Have a good night.
You too.
Good night. I guess this is the print right here. This is what it looks like. Printed up.
That's cool, man.
I like how they put their own bottle beside it for scale, but we don't know how big the fucking bottle is, so it doesn't help at all. That's why you put a can or something.
Yeah, like a recognized can, like a Coke can.
Yeah, like what is that? Is that a 2-liter bottle? Is that a 1 liter? Is that like what is that?
That's a
That
liter of
doesn't help me
cola
at
right
all.
there. If you know, you know.
That's like those.
Come on, Shay, you don't know what
Just
quantum
think, you know,
3D is? Come on now.
Jesus.
I remember the Scorpion. He's talking about.
I thought this was cool too. There's another one. Real good.
Oh, yeah.
It was Captain
I
Marvel.
really like this.
Is
The
that
paint is amazing. I mean, it could be better on the fire, but you know, on the characters, it's really good.
I feel like
guys.
Rogue is hard to like face to capture. Like you either is really good or it's not.
I think this one's decent. I think this one's pretty good, especially for another STL file. You know,
That's cool.
I like her
I
glove
think-
in her belt, and she's about to grab her with her hand.
Is this
her
from a
pose looks
comic?
very
Because
natural.
we know how Rogue got her powers and blah blah blah, but in this, she's an X-Men, so she already took the power, and now they're fighting. Is it like did this happen in the comic?
I know when Captain Marvel came back, she was obviously pissed at Rogue.
Right.
She was in a coma for so long. I think they did end up fighting.
It would make sense in the comic if they
Yeah.
fought. I just didn't see it. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I think they did end up fighting at one point. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I thought
I don't know
Rogue-
why she wouldn't just touch her. Just
Could be wrong.
oh, she has the glove off. Okay,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Good. That makes sense.
Because that fire in the base, I think looks really toyish. Where I don't know if it's the sculpt or the paint's definitely not great.
Because she wasn't in the X-Men yet when she actually took her power. She was a
No, she was with the Brotherhood.
yeah.
Brotherhood mutant. She took her powers.
What doesn't make sense to me though, she's grabbing her by the neck. Rogue is grabbing Miss Marvel by the neck with the left hand. Why didn't you just take that glove off? Like you're already touching her.
Takes time.
She's a righty.
She's already. I only touch with her right.
So Rogue supposedly got her powers from, I believe, her by sucking her life force, and I thought that's why she went into a coma. But she wasn't flying before the whole Miss Marvel fight.
Correct.
This is afterwards because I think she didn't even have this uniform yet. Captain Marvel, she didn't have that uniform until later in the comics.
Oh,
So-
and neither
and
did
neither-
Rogue. So
Exactly. So I think they're just fighting. You know,
I didn't know if this was taken from a comic because they actually fought, or if this was just someone's. Hey, this would be cool since they have a big axe to grind, and
Yeah.
they made a statue out of it. That's why I was asking if it was comic accurate.
The hair on Captain Marvel looks a little like it needs some work.
The Rogue is definitely better.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that base? Like, what is that? What is that?
It's X-Jet.
The top of the extra, like they burst and do it.
Oh,
Even the other customer was like, I don't know. You saw that?
Ooh, I don't know what that is.
Because the flames looked horrible in my opinion.
Yeah.
They look-
I've
Yeah,
definitely
those are
seen better
like-
flames.
those are like sideshow type flames. I'm not a fan.
No, these are definitely worse than sideshows.
That's not like XM flames.
No,
Oh, definitely not.
not even
no.
close. But
But-
it looks good for what it is, you know.
Overall, yeah.
Yeah, overall, it looks
That's
good.
for me.
Cool piece. Good diorama.
So, Dazzler.
And then we have this.
This is what I hope that she would have been in the outfit, the uniform. I just don't think they did it very well.
Well,
Yeah, we
this
should
looks like a
combine-
Wish version of a Bowen statue.
She looks
this
like
whole
that.
page,
You ever see that meme of the '80s guy? That's it. That's it.
yeah,
You know what I'm talking about, Shay?
yeah. I could picture him.
Right?
This is the better uniform, but it's not the better statue. Like, you know, if you put
Correct.
this uniform with the sideshow,
You know the
like
problem.
this.
I don't know if you have the other Dazzler statue, the other custom one that was shown yesterday or today.
Yes, I've got it
Okay.
in the
The
slide.
problem with Dazzler is she's such a boring character. Like all the statues are fucking boring. Like even the sideshow one, yeah, she's got the shit going on, but it's not cool. You don't look at it and go, "Oh man, look at that base, that's so sick." You look at it, you're like,
But it could be though. I can think
It
of
could be, but they're not.
different.
It's,
things that could
it's
be.
I'm sorry. Shout out to Jose Alicia. This is his. I think it might be one of one. He gets his own statues made, and this is kind of his style. Like, it's not like,
See,
I know we've been kind of poking a little fun at it, but like, this is kind of how he prefers his statues to look. So it does look good for what his intentions were, and they all have that same X base. So
if you're going with all simple base like that, and you like the old style Bowen with less texturing and shit, this is perfect for you. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. The character Dazzler for me, I'm not a fan of the character, and the statues just seem kind of boring or just, I don't know, off compared to all the other X-Men. You know what I mean? It never looks or feels like an X-Men statue when I'm looking at her.
To me, she was always the same character. As there's three characters that are the same to me: Jubilee, Dazzler, and Boom Boom. They always had the same
100%. Agree with
little
you.
variations in power. It's just a little bit variation, but they all
they don't have a lot of depth.
Yeah. I like this how this is painted though. Her power effect.
That does look cool. Yeah. Like I would take this one over the Sideshow one for sure. For sure.
I probably would too.
I'm just saying, like this with my other X-Men though, like this, none of them would fit. Not even the other custom one. None of them would fit in.
Yeah, same.
It would look odd. People would look at your collection, go, "Oh, that's cool. Who is she? Who's the chick dancing with the speakers? Like, what's going on?"
Oh, and this is what we were talking about earlier with the.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, this group was a lot of
This is a Sideshow piece, but they added custom pieces to it.
I love when they do stuff like this. I'm a big fan. How like Night Monkey adds all the Venomized stuff, and I love how they do stuff like this. Silver Surfer has that giant Galactus hand that you could buy for it. Like, I love that stuff, man.
So this group actually did the custom base for Sideshow Colossus, where it's Juggernaut kind of like sprawled out, defeated. I don't know if anybody's seen that, but they've done a lot of other custom attachments and pieces for licensed statues. Pretty cool ideas. They have a custom Exum Storm portrait coming out as well with the lightning coming from the eyes.
From the eyes, that looks good.
Yeah, so they're getting a lot.
You know, Dwayne? What was the cost on that portrait? Was it about $2?
I don't even know. I didn't see the PO when it opened up.
I want to say it was like $150 or $2, but I can't remember.
They even got the little headstands that go along with it, so that's cool.
Yeah, this is dope. This is definitely.
I like.
I think I'm in the minority where I could give a shit about headstands, because if I'm not using the portrait, it goes away. I did buy a 5-drawer dresser from IKEA, and I have foam inside, and I keep swap outs in there in case, like, readily accessible in case I want to switch anything out. And I've never done it yet, not once. So the headstands, I would never display heads in front of my statues. Me personally. I know a lot of people love it though. I'd rather lower the cost and not make that an option.
You're not in the minority.
It feels like I am, because people talk about headstands and they really like them, which is cool. They're just not, I don't want a bunch of headstands around my statues.
I like the option. Like you said, though, lately, I don't actually put them in front of my statue either. It's right here, so I'm gonna put them all in the drawer as well. But if I'm paying that price, the option is cool. But you're right, it's kind of
but if they're like, you know what, you could get 3 headstands and it costs you an extra $125, or save $125 and we'll keep the headstands. Well, just keep your headstands. Charge me less.
What's up to Everyday Collector, Big John? Thanks, man.
Hey, Jarhead, can you keep me posted on this one?
Yeah.
What's up, John?
See, this is how I picture Walton looking like. Did anybody else get Walton vibes from this?
That's funny.
Honestly, yes, that maniacal smile. Yeah.
What is the add-on rate?
What you want, huh?
Do they have it? Can you talk about the add-on cost or not yet?
I don't remember what the cost was. Do you remember G3?
I don't think the PO is actually open. Did it open yet? Was that just?
I don't think it did. I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's got a whole Spider-Man to go with it, so.
But you can get different packs. You can get different packs that one company. You don't have to get the Spider-Man if you don't want. I know he said you can kind of customize it to what pieces you want. So that's pretty cool too. Because
even
a
that
lot
one's pretty cool.
of pieces.
I don't know, maybe it's just me, but whenever I see like a dead or dying, beaten Spider-Man on a statue, there's been 2 now.
Yeah.
I don't really like the way the Spider-Man looks. And one was on that Venom statue where he's like crouched over him and it's swappable on the base. You know what I mean? It's not, the statue itself is amazing. Venom looks cool. There's something that looks really off about that Spider-Man on the base. And there's something that looks off about this, and I can't put my finger on it. I don't know if it's the pose or what, but something looks off. Like when Venom was holding his head, it looks cool, but I don't know, something looks off on Spider-Man. It just doesn't fit.
I think a lot of characters, a lot of statues where there's a character used as like a prop like that, and not necessarily like actually engaging, like suffers from that same thing. Like there's a ton of X-Men statues that have like ancillary characters around the main. Like there's a Magneto statue where he's using the some metal wrapped around the necks of the X-Men on the base, and the same thing with those X-Men in that base. Like they're part of the whole like presentation, but they're definitely not done to the same level as Magneto.
I think it's on this. It isn't like it's not finished. Like there's like black lines right here where it should be black. Like
okay, so it's not finished then. This is just
that's what it looks like to me. Like it's not finished.
Okay, that's different. Do you see what I mean? Like it looks a little off.
I think I know what you mean by the pose. Like the pose just looks a little stiff and unnatural.
Something about it. I don't know if it's the outfit, the pose. I like the concept. I think it's really cool. Just something. When you look at him and the Venom next to each other, the Venom is like next level detail. This looks very basic and plain. I think it's the outfit. Like you see how on his by his abs, how the red and blue, and the red looks like it's kind of like popped out, like his stitching on his outfit for some reason. I don't know why it's not all flat. It just looks odd to me.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
I like the idea though. I like the concept.
Yeah, if there's gonna be other characters
trying to add stuff to these, accessories is cool,
Yeah, I like it. I wish more companies would do stuff like this.
I purposely don't buy custom statues with that concept of like a defeated character or something, because the defeated character always, in my opinion, just never measures up to the same sculpt as the actual main character, and it just looks.
You're right, man. There's been Dooms with Silver Surfers. There's been all kinds where the character on the base is, you could tell it was secondary.
Yeah,
it doesn't
exactly.
have that attention to detail like the main character, and I don't like that because it draws your eye away from it in a bad way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's one thing I guess licensed companies have over, like, if you look at Prime 1, I'm thinking about that Prime 1 Batman Who Laughs and the little Jokers, like you could tell their scope is the same standard as the Joker himself.
Did any of you have that Gravedigger Bane from Prime 1? Where he's like shoveling the Gravedigger?
No,
and Batman's like on the base, all dead and beaten. I was just wondering what the detail on that Batman looks like. Anyone who's seen it in person, because it's Prime 1.
Oh no, it's good. I seen that the 1/3 one, right?
Yeah. The Batman looks good on the base.
Looks good. Yep.
Oh, okay. Compared to the Bane though, like same level of detail.
Same level, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah,
good.
Batman's portrait, like his upper body shows, so it's really good. I would say it's really good.
If anyone's gonna nail a dead body on a base, it would be Prime 1.
Hell yeah.
So Prime 1 just released a picture of a Batman they're gonna show tomorrow. I don't know if anybody caught that.
Oh, I thought we were like custom show.
How did you see it?
Yeah.
We'll get to that later.
Look at this guy just long cocking it here, eh? I got my
Next to the near Harley.
What do you guys think about this? It's interesting, huh?
I like
That is
it.
good. I like it a lot.
If I had the samurai line, I would buy this to go with it. I like this. I'm not a big samurai guy, but I like it.
I like the I think
really
they're called
classic
Shishi dogs. Those are pretty cool.
What are they called?
Shishi dogs? Right there.
Sure, I'll buy it.
Yeah, this is beautifully done. It's a huge piece though. Like that would be a huge footprint. But
This isn't hard though. This is what's her face?
Punchline.
Punchline. Yeah.
Would you guys have preferred a Harley?
Oh wow, she's hot.
It's different.
Punchline.
I like Punchline.
Punchline works.
She doesn't.
Harley on the left.
Wow, man.
Both. Have them both. Have them
One of those
both.
quads.
It's just enough sexiness. Like this is like the perfect amount of like, you know.
That extra toe?
Those look rough.
What am I looking at there? Is that like a 6 toe? It's starting to come out.
Well,
Let's be honest. If she had 6 toes, everyone here would smash anyway. So it doesn't matter.
oh, yeah.
Joker's
No
like,
one's looking at
yeah.
her toes. No. Well, I guess some people look at the toes, but that's not my thing.
Yeah. Well, she had to get the socks on for me.
Give her a pair of
that
socks.
extra toe on my chest. I might say something. Look at it.
I like how she's got knives in her hair.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Oh yeah, that's what I was looking at. That's right.
She did that except for toe.
I don't know if they'd actually stay in there, but I think it's cool.
It's different. It's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of detail in his face. There's a lot of detail all over this piece. Very well sculpted.
Is there a picture where you could zoom in on her hand? I'm wondering how her hands look compared to the feet.
Really shush
The
that.
Vulcan sign.
It's a weird.
I like that placement of her hand, you know.
It's interesting. Oh. So aside from the feet and hands, it looks really good.
Yeah, even his hands though. Look, he's like bony hands.
I mean, at least you're consistent.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
But between Punchline and Harley, no wonder why Joker's always smiling. I would be too.
Oh, did you guys see this?
I thought this was pretty cool.
Yeah, there's the detail and the shading on the animals, man. It looks
I love all the animals they got in there. I didn't even see the gorilla in the back.
Yeah, the gorilla and the hawk or the eagle.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
This is a huge piece, and it's just like
It's going to be. You
anybody
have to be such a big Beast Boy fan to buy a statue this big for Beast Boy. That's a lot of real estate to commit.
I was talking to another collector about it today, and I was just like, you know, the statue itself is way cooler than the actual character. Like, you know,
I mean, maybe somebody thinks he's the bee's knees, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I don't know if you're gonna get like a full run of 30 or 40 people that think that. Like, you know, especially for a piece this big, like this take up a lot of space, and the shipping is probably gonna be through the roof.
Day one.
It's a dope piece though.
He's got 5 different animals on it, and then him. So 6 different statues, really.
And the thing is, they're all to scale too. Like those aren't like he didn't skimp on the size of any of the animals. Those are all accurate. You know, considering his size. Like, you know, so it's like that's a huge piece.
Is this 1/4 scale?
Yes, 1/4 scale.
So you could imagine how big this piece is going to be, how much it's going to cost, and what shipping's going to be.
I mean, he can't even fit it on the table. He doesn't even have the whole thing on the table.
I know. But
It's like it's comical actually. Like, you know, it's funny because it's like you think about Beast Boy. It's like why did somebody go all out for Beast Boy? But
that's what I'm saying. Like, who's buying this?
I really like this guy though. Like he does crazy paint jobs.
I agree.
Cool paint jobs.
Yeah, the work is good. The statue's cool.
everything is
There's
good.
a lot of real estate to give to a tertiary character.
I do know a guy that bought a Sentinel, the other day, and no one talks about that guy.
That's because that Sentinel hasn't been unboxed yet. Everyone's waiting.
I don't know who you talking about.
Some crusty old guy who
Yeah,
does YouTube.
crusty, sure.
Crusty. You have to be crusty if you're in them.
I heard the commissioner in this group pretty much went silent recently. So things are kind of up in the air with this group at this point. People don't know what's going on.
That's always what you want. The guy with your money not answering you, that's a good sign.
So
It is good.
We said before, calculated risk.
This piece has been out for a while, but man, I just wanted to highlight this paint job on this thing.
It's so
Yeah. I'm actually about to start using this painter. I was just talking to him this past week, and when he showed this, and his prices are very, very fair, and he does a really, really, really good job. So.
Bro, that is sick.
Who is it? Can you give him his flowers?
Gabriel or Gabriel, something. I forgot his last name.
I've heard good things about him too.
Yeah, and he paints not exclusively, but he paints a lot for one of the groups I'm in that only does kits. But a lot of people, like, he'll get like 5 or 6 pieces of one character from that group and just paint them all over the course of a few weeks. So he's pretty good.
He's in Spain, right?
Huh?
I think he's in Spain.
Yeah, Gabriel Pascalone or Pascalone.
That's a long way to go to send a statue, though.
Well, if it's only coming from a factory on that side, though,
that's fair. If they'll send it to him directly, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, all of my kits I get sent straight to the painter, unless I have to follow up the painter. I can't afford to have it shipped overseas to me and then ship. Even though domestic shipping isn't that bad, but still, it's just.
Shit, Dwayne, you're handsome and smart. The total package. Look at you.
This statue looks so good.
All right.
The fire looks good too.
Do you guys prefer Sentry with the yellow or with the red?
Yeah, yellow suit.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, when he has the
did
rest,
wear this,
I'm pretty sure.
Mm.
But yeah, the yellow is definitely the more classical.
Yeah. It's a dope piece, though. I like this. I always like this statue.
I like the profile of this statue a lot. Like, just the.
I like the cape. I love everything about it. It's sleek. It's got a small footprint.
And that's what this group specializes. I actually have this statue being sent to Gabriel now. Like, I just arranged it this week. But that's what this group is known for, as far as their compact bases, their sleek poses, and the sculptor. I think his name is Vitor. I forgot his entire name. I know his first name is Vitor. He's really good, and they all have like a similar profile.
I feel like this could be like a Superman hush killer. Like if it was Superman, the sculpt and everything.
Possibly.
It's really good, man. I think it's really good.
Casual, you think it's that good to dethrone Hush Superman if that was a Supes?
I think so. It's so simple, man. Like, I know you have the Prime 1 Hush. Like the base takes up a lot of space with the angels and everything.
It does.
This is so compact compared to the
It does. It would have been nice if they had, and I know you could take the angels off, but then you got those like blocks on there. Would have been nice if there was a way to like take it off without being noticeable, like minimize the base, and then people who wanted big and extravagant, they could add it on. That would have been nice.
You could flip it around, but I don't think anyone wants to flip it around.
But we all know Prime 1 says fuck your space, and they don't care.
Friday, tomorrow.
Cool if a custom group came out.
Tomorrow we'll get to see a lot of fuck your space anime and Batman statues.
So like my favorite kind of characters too are like the characters that aren't like, black or white. They're like that gray area, like the characters that aren't afraid to kill, or like the ones that
Punisher.
Punisher,
all the anti-heroes.
This Sentry is definitely one of those kind of characters. I came to this group too late to get this one, but I wish I could have, man. But I love the statue.
Do you guys prefer Sentry or Hyperion, or do you not care for either?
I like both, but I'm more of a Sentry guy.
See, I'm more of a
Hyperion too, yeah, but Sentry is definitely.
I like
Hyperion's more of just an evil dude, Hyperion, he's just crazy.
Let's be honest. All Hyperion is Superman. I mean, this guy is photographer. Like, it's ridiculous the similarities between him. It's ridiculous.
So you got Hyperion, Sentry, and
Gladiator,
who are all archetypes of Superman. I think
even Blue Marvel, is kind of an archetype. He's just his powers are a little different.
Yep.
Out of those, I'll take Gladiator. He's my guy. I love Gladiator.
Yeah, I love him in this latest.
I always thought his weakness was interesting. If he had confidence, like if somebody was able to like bring his
so unique though. Yeah. I like it.
I seen Cannonball in a comic beat him one time because he messed with his confidence, messed with his mind.
You're talking about Gladiator now?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think about Sentry? How he's like nuts?
I like it. It's different. Like I like characters with depth. You know, that aren't just like, you know, like a Captain America kind of character or a Cyclops. Like Cyclops was never my favorite on the X-Men. I'm an X-Men guy, but Cyclops was never my favorite because he's just too much of a Boy Scout. I like the characters that have depth.
Like Wolverine.
Yeah, like Wolverine. Oh, this thing is sick.
Jesus Christ.
It's massive.
Either that guy's really small or that statue's really big.
One Piece.
This is Luffy from One Piece.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a badass. When it's painted, I think it's going to look really good.
Yeah, dare I say this looks like a grill in the making. This looks amazing. It looks
I like how you can't really see his face too.
Yeah, it's like that Kung Lao kind of effect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly.
But like, yeah, I don't even watch this show, and I don't even think you need to really be familiar with the character. You can just look at this statue and tell it's just badass, and it's something that you would want to own just because it looks that cool. And now all they gotta do is execute the paint job and make the paint elevated even more.
Just as good as a statue.
You can ruin it with a bad paint job or bad color palette on that dragon, I guess.
Yeah, just hopefully they don't overdo like the colors. Like it's not like super colorful, you know.
I mean, but it is an anime, so you know, of course, they definitely have the bright poppy colors.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
This is getting into people's hands. It's Quasar. I don't know if there's a lot of people that don't know this character, but this is Quasar.
Yeah, mine is on the way right now too. It should be here within the next 2 weeks.
How the rendition of how this group did it, I think, is probably one of the best Quasars out there.
Yeah, I think this is the best Quasar. I think this is the definitive one now. There's only, I think, one, maybe two others, but this is definitely the best one. I mean, those other two are pretty dated.
Yeah, I was going to say I haven't seen a new Quasar piece in a few years. So yeah, those I know the customs you're talking about. Those are a few years old. I like this one. I like the way it looks. It's cool. I'm not a huge Quasar fan per se, but I think the statue looks good.
You got this. You got this coming, right? D3.
Yeah, I got this coming. I'm in on this line. This is part of their Annihilators line with Ronan the Accuser, Gladiator, Silver Surfer. They got Quasar now, and they're gonna do a Cosmic Beta Ray build.
I like the Ronin.
And Nova as well. They have Nova as well. So I have all of those other ones except the Silver Surfer.
This is the other customer you're talking about, Shane?
Yeah, Taylor Swift. But like seriously, I'm not saying it's bad at all, but if you put this next to your X-Men that are all Danger Room Sentinel bases, that's going to fit.
I mean, it's got an X on it.
Look odd.
It's got an X on it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
It looks like she's a fifth member of Kiss. Like she's a Kiss groupie.
I prefer this over the Sideshow one.
So do I. The Sideshow one's too busy. It's got too much 80s shit going, Gem in the Hologram shit going on for me.
Oh, and this is the last picture. I had to show this. I know this is Sideshow.
It was a custom Sideshow.
How did this get in here? The license piece?
I thought this was pretty cool. I like this piece. So
for the life of me, I could never figure out. I love Rogue. She's one of my favorite Marvel characters. I could never figure out. She's always, I can't touch anyone. I can't be in love, blah, blah, blah. Why not just get one of those collars that they put on you all the time to stop your abilities? You know what I mean? Like, there's no way she can't get one of those collars and just wear it and then be with Gambit.
Yeah, she does. When they, and especially in their marriage books.
Okay, there you go.
You made a ring out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it only makes sense. Yeah. Like, the technology exists. She literally rips the collar off other mutants to help them. Like, why not just keep one for yourself?
The X-Men has spanned such a long time in comics that they eventually catch up to common sense. And like, they tend to close a lot of those loopholes and gaps that have existed over the time. I think that was one that they did with the ring, and everything when they got married. So
I think I read when I read it, they give her migraines or something like that. So it's not something you can keep on for a long time.
So
I'm
there's
getting
the
a
plot right there, like, you know.
I'm
Oh, she has to
psyched.
take it off, you know. So
What do you guys think about the statue?
You guys like his face?
I
His
hope the
mouth?
base is nice.
Both of their faces look good. Yeah, I think it's looking good, man. Overall, it's 1/5 though, right?
We don't know.
Oh, I
I
talked to
hope not.
Chad.
People are assuming that it's 1/5 because of the
19
size.
inches
But,
tall, I heard. 19 inches.
look at his knees. He's kind of not standing up straight.
yeah, I don't know what's going on. Is he falling? Are they flying?
I was just going to say, can you zoom in a bit? Like, are his legs from the knee to his ass kind of like on an angle? Is he squatting?
That's what it looks like. It
Is he
looks like
falling
it's-
backwards? Did
it
she
looks
run
like
into
he's
him and
falling.
knock him over?
Yeah, I think that's what happened. I think she
Me
ran
too, with the
into-
cards falling. I think they're about to hug, and she's like knocking him
I-
down to the ground or something. She
I
flew
think
into
his jacket is the part of the base holding him up.
No, I think it's the cards. You see the cards going around them?
Yeah, I think the cards are in some type of I don't know.
So it's
We
18
don't
and a
know.
half inches. So I'm hoping it's 1/4 because he's not standing straight up, and 18 and a half is pretty much
Quarter.
his size, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
If this
damn
is
it,
18 and a half,
I don't know. I think
yeah,
it's
I would say it's not a 1/5 if that's 18 and a half inches.
I see a lot of people complaining about his mouth though.
yeah, his mouth looks crazy. It doesn't.
Mhm.
There's something
Yeah.
very off about it.
I think he looks happy. I think that's what they were going for. He's got that I'm in love look.
It doesn't look like Gambit.
That I can see, yeah. But
Like if you cover just the mouth, which I'm doing right now, you can't see me, but
I love the
it-
eyes. Sorry.
yeah, I don't know.
I hope it's
Listen.
1/4 too.
I'm just amazed they're actually making one. I didn't think they actually ever would. I thought a custom would be the first one to come out with a Rogan Gambit statue.
Nah, you know those custom guys.
It's cool. It's not for me.
There's actually, I think, two custom groups two or three custom groups right now working on a Gambit and Rogue.
Too late. It's already done.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jarhead? You like this one?
I do like it. I like it a lot. The only thing that is weird to me is how his legs are bent like that. But I guess it makes sense if she's like jumping in his arms and like knocking him down, and then his cards are falling. It makes sense.
That's what I get from it when I see it.
So that's why I'm kind of hoping it's still a quarter scale because the size is 1/5, but he's bent over a little bit. So I'm hoping it's quarter scale.
Do you like the? Do you think there should have been texture on the coat and on her pants or boots?
It's kind of not as textured as their normal stuff, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see what's the point of releasing a teaser with like 75 to 85% of the statue. Like,
No,
just-
exactly. Just show
at
us
this
the fucking
point,
stat.
Why haven't they just released the whole picture?
I think they're gonna end up showing it, or they're releasing it probably the next few days. Because why else would
I
you?
mean, yeah, I understand that, but like, why even put this one out? It just looks like a bad crop job. And
It looks like lighting too. Look at the back of her jacket. It looks like it's lit up unless there's lighting from the studio. There
It's
might be a
lighting.
light base.
or did SHOT actually put this one out? Or I don't know. It's like it could
So this is the one from the email. The one they posted on Facebook and Instagram is actually smaller. This one's a bigger picture from the email.
It's like zoomed in like this or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Did you say this is 18 inches tall?
18 and a half. They said.
Okay, because Gambit at 6'2", at 1/4 scale, standing straight up without a base would be 18 and a half inches. So if he's bent over on a base and it's 18 and a half, that would make sense. Because if he's 1/5 scale, he should be about just under 15 inches. So about in between 14 and a half and 15. So that would be a really high base for him to
Day
be
one.
1/5.
Math,
We'll
ladies and
see.
gentlemen, math.
What they did with Wolverine. So who knows what they're doing? Maybe it's a non-scale.
We'll find out if it's Canadian math when it comes to
Got that Canadian math going.
No, that's good observation, Shane. I like that.
Yeah, well, who knows? We'll see.
So and would anybody pick this up on the panel? Like,
It's not my style.
If there's a quarter scale option, I might pick it up. It's kind of cartoony, kind of, but I still like it because I'm a big X-Men guy, so I'll
You're
probably.
such a romantic jar.
check out use code COC.
What'd you say, Vision?
Check out use code COC at checkout.
There's no room for love in my collection. None of this.
There's no room for love. Only hate. I love it.
Nick 3's wife comes from the back.
Buddy, she's not fucking with him wearing that wife beater. I'll tell you now.
But it's cool though. I like the concept. You know, I think it's pretty well done from what we can see so far. You know, I think it'll have a lot of fans, a lot of supporters. So.
I hear mixed things. I hear a lot of people like it. I hear some people that don't, but I think I hear more people that like it.
Yeah, I like it.
It's not my thing, but you know what? It's all right. A lot of things aren't my thing. If people like it and they could enjoy it, good for them.
Yeah.
It's a nice time to announce it too, with the whole death of Gambit thing just occurring last week in X-Men
What
97.
are you talking about?
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry.
happened?
I'm sorry. Other people.
Did you just ruin something for me?
I'm sorry.
What happened?
The people who
No,
haven't watched-
hush.
My bad.
Man,
I've seen it. I'm just
lost
messing
20
with you.
people.
I'm going to let you two settle this.
That was completely unintentional. I would assume that everybody was caught up. That was last week's episode.
D3, I'll say it for everyone watching, you fucking asshole. You're that guy. You're that guy. Wow.
Completely unintentional.
You son
I'm
of a
sorry. I just thought everybody was up to date. I'm sorry. I assumed that.
Everyone gives a show
I
a
agree. We
thumbs
should be
down.
able to talk about it. It came out yesterday. Come on.
Well, no, that was.
I know it was a week, but I'm saying yesterday's episode we should be able to talk about too.
Yeah, I want to talk about yesterday's episode. It was just
I will
amazing.
say this show is the bee's knees for sure.
Yeah, it's I've
Where
never
did
been.
that come from, that saying? I'm one of those guys, whenever someone says like an old-timey saying, I'm always trying to think where that came from, because there's some really
the
weird sayings.
Yeah,
I've heard that bee's knee. What does that
That is a
mean?
weird saying. It is a very weird saying.
Just like there's more than one way to skin a cat. Who's skinning cats, and why are there more than one way? Like these sayings are just crazy from the olden days. So
Rose says,
that was
Not even
last
2 days
week's
before
episode.
war.
I didn't reference. That was last week's.
yeah, you've had eight whole days to watch it.
but that's all I got for pictures tonight, man. So
Well, you just lost half the viewers, so
had a good time then, huh?
Man, I felt the air just leave the room when I said it.
there'll be a petition to get rid of D3 off the show after this.
Oh man.
Well, I mean, it's a good time to get out and get off here. I don't got any more pictures, and everybody has anything else they want to talk about. There is that Prime 1 that they just teased, but I don't know if y'all want to look at it or not.
Yeah, let's take a look. I didn't see it.
They released the Batgirl ES.
Yeah, 2,200.
Yeah.
You may share it, Jarhead, or you got it?
No, go ahead.
That's a lot more than I thought. I gave it about 800.
There you go.
Well, Ivy was what 1,200 all in, so that's a lot for Batgirl.
Wait, this is Prime 1?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
1/4.
Well, it feels similar to the sideshow premium format that was just announced. For some reason, my eye.
the
that
legs,
flat-
the lower half.
Yeah, I think it's his lower half, and he's on a slant. But of course, you know.
What's missing in that belt right here?
There's a lot of things going on here.
I'm not a fan of that cape, the way it's all like bunched up like that, and it looks like a leather material. I'm not a big
And
fan of
it's
that.
purple inside too, as well. I think.
It looks like he's wearing a cloak and he's about to put a hood up. You know what I mean? Like Lord of the Rings style.
Yeah. Seen it.
Like that's
Oh,
a really
that's
wrinkly cape.
Hey, there you go, your bus. Stan.
You know what? I'll buy this, and it's Batman, and it's got a portrait bust. I'm in.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something about the statue I'm not digging.
I'm
No, I
not.
don't like it at all.
With this many Batman statues, it better be good because there's 1,000 before it. So what makes anyone want to buy this one more? I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm not feeling it.
You get the Superman Hush Angel, since they're not gonna come up with the Superman Hush 1/4, so you get the Angel. That's it.
There you go.
hate.
That's fine. He's a hate.
Ooh, that looks cool with that
It's a
that
huge
guy
part.
right there. Yeah. This didn't go cool with the Bane on Throne.
Oh yeah.
I like how they did the paint on the cape. Like that part of the cape looks really dope.
I don't know if I
hate-
care for the purple underneath though. He kind of looks like a pimp.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I like how you say that
Yeah.
word. Pimp.
Where's Pearl at?
Yeah, I don't
Let's
care
go.
about that either. Is it the angle, or was that angel like really leaning?
Yeah, I thought that was
Like, that thing was leaning a lot.
Well, look at the base. It's
Yeah.
rubble, so I think it's supposed to be like that.
He's
It's
beast slap.
Like it's all broken and stuff. So
It's okay. In a couple years, they'll send you a little piece to hold up against the angel to keep it from falling, to prop it up.
How do you like his face? His cowl right here with the ears.
Looks good.
it's interesting.
I don't like the purple on the inside of the cape.
Pimping.
This is actually probably my
I was
least favorite of theirs.
Prince, you know what I mean? Prince coming out.
And I'm also not that much of a fan of that logo on the chest. That's not the Batman.
It feels like a rush job. It feels like just
Whoever couldn't get that 1/3, Detective 1000, the 1/4 community probably gonna eat this up though.
I could see that.
I did not like that build. I just what is that?
And you can see his
What's wrong?
ribs. Like, there's no muscle there. It's just ribs.
Right here, have this. So you know he's
It's
day
I don't
one.
I don't think I think this is a miss.
Vision day one.
oh no, I wouldn't buy this. Like I wouldn't Shane get it and then sell it to me for cheap. Have all. It's funny because Shane was like, "Man, I don't like that, I like Batman," and then next thing you know, like, "Hey, I bought the Justice Buzzer." He's in the comments. Me too. I'm like, "What?"
To be clear, we bought the Justice Buster at the same time during the same live show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Though. It was funny when you said that. I was like, "What?" Everybody, I'm like, Shane said it. He's not even a Batman guy.
That's the only Batman I'll ever need.
Atticus says Purple Rain Batman.
Yeah, what do you guys think about the cape being purple on the inside? You like
I don't
that?
like it at all. This is weird.
That's
Remember
weird.
the Shredder now. The Shredder cape is purple. So I'm like,
Yeah, I don't like two-sided colored capes.
Well, guys, we can call it right now. We can go too long.
Yeah, I know. Shane is y'all are having a little watch party for the prom one showcase tomorrow, right?
I think everyone is. I know Casual is, John is, Art, I think, Batman statue collector. But yeah, we got a bunch of guys. We got 10 of us on, and yeah, just gonna have some drinks and watch it and have a little watch party.
Cool. Same with you, Casual.
Yeah. So tomorrow at 8:30, bring the pizza, bring the beer, bring the ladies.
There's none of those around here, Casual.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be a blast. Like I'm gonna host it on my channel, but the next day watch the replay, watch COC, watch the Everyday Collector, see what I missed.
I like seeing everybody's reactions, man.
Yeah,
Like,
that's why I want to watch
people
replay.
like they show like a really good statue and everybody freaks out. I like that. It's fun.
Yeah.
Or when it's like you said, when it's really good, but then like one person won't say something negative. I'm like, I just can't wait till he say something. I know
You just wait for Buck to say something. Like he don't like the kneecap. It's not. It doesn't look as good like it should be for some reason.
I'm looking forward to Drunk Mr. X tomorrow and seeing his reaction to this shit.
I haven't seen him live very much.
Well, you can see him tomorrow on Constructive Outrage.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Matt?
I forgot. Well, somebody tells you what happens to Gambit. I don't know.
Some piece of shit spoils it for you, and
I didn't want to see because I haven't watched it either.
Yeah.
Wow. I did this Batman today because they showed the Batman tomorrow, and then like me, I'd have been like, terrible.
It's all about the presentation, though. They'll show different.
this is like Sons of Anarchy. If a week after someone's like, "Can you believe Opie died?"
I felt that when he died. By the way,
Everyone felt that when he died. Everyone loved Opie. Everyone.
Show.
It was a good way to go, though.
I don't know if it was a good way, but
that's a great way to go.
Is what is there any like a piece you guys looking forward to on the show tomorrow? Is there something that you want to see?
The only thing I could think that would possibly get me excited to get something, and I don't think it's a possibility at all, is if they said they're going to recontinue their G.I. Joe line. But I doubt that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Short of that, there's not much. I can't imagine them putting anything that I'd be interested in buying.
So they'll probably do what, 4 or 5 Batmans, you think?
I'd say at least 4 Batman, or I'll say 5 Batman/Batman related statues, like villains, robes, whatever. And then probably at least 5 plus anime statues.
So
I
one
think
of
better would be-
the symbols that they showed, some people are thinking it's
Homelander?
Homelander from The Boys. I'm
It
looking
could be.
I'm looking forward to see that if that's the case, because I like that character too. So
I predict it's going to be a Shield logo, and they're coming out with a 1/3 scale Agent Coulson. You heard it here first.
yeah, I don't know if they're going to dip into Marvel, but
I think a new Predator
they
will be
might-
shown tomorrow as well. New Predator and maybe a 1/3 Alien line. But if they came out with a Metal Gear Solid line, I'm talking about like I would literally pause everything I have all in on that line.
Nice.
I would. Well, besides the turtles, I'll get the turtles too, but then I'll knock that out. But PCS has no budget. But other than that, Prime won't be on the same level.
You think they
Prime
may
One's
say
going to
something
come out
about
with.
the
go
quarter
ahead.
scale? I said, do you think they may say something about the quarter scale hush?
It's what a lot of people are waiting for.
I
mean, they
people are
teased
hoping
it a
for
long
it.
time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Like, how long does it take, man? Prime
Do you
One.
think they'll do
Prime
any,
One's slow.
You think they'll do any Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I was watching a lot of Lord of the Rings stuff today, and I was like, man, I wish I could have Lord of the Rings.
What character do you think they're going to do? Because they've done a whole bunch. Who's left that would sell well? Do you think that Prime One hasn't touched? Have they done a Gimli yet?
Yeah, they just did a Gimli. Let's see, Legolas they did Frodo, they did Bilbo. No, they haven't done Bilbo.
I don't know if Bilbo would sell very well.
Oh, the mouth of Sauron would be amazing.
Yeah. Prime One is my favorite for Lord of the Rings statues, and I know there's a lot. Like Weta kills it, and I know other companies kill it, but I'm partial to the Prime One, so I am looking forward to see what they come out with.
What do they do? The tower with the eye of Sauron, like you know how they like a really cool light up on it. That'd be dope.
You know what's crazy? You know, I was gonna tell you guys this backstage. You know what's crazy? I've always made that rule, like I'm never gonna go past this room. But then I saw someone unbox the Sauron, the 1/4 Prime One Studios, and I was like, F that rule. F that rule. I'm gonna put that thing in the hallway. That thing is so good. And
that piece
exclusive is like the
sells for
range
so
is
cheap in the aftermarket.
Yeah, I've seen it go real cheap.
I've seen that piece sell for the exclusive. I think it was like $900 American. Like it's cheap, man, and it's like 42 inches tall.
I'd buy it, put it in the hallway, and just. I wouldn't question it ever again.
It's like those castles that have the steel armor just in the hallway.
So what does everybody else have got going on the next couple of days? Matt, you got anything coming up? I know you're going to be on the show tomorrow too, right?
Yeah, I got to get the timing right. I think the schedule my daughter has a play. Yeah. So I'll get with Shane and Crippler on that. So
yeah, just to hit me up, Matt. Let me know.
Or if you make it late,
whatever works for you, man. Even if you want to come on later, like whatever.
Yeah.
What about you, Loco? You got anything? I saw that you sent me pictures of that the Juggernaut versus Colossus statue that you got in. So
yeah, that's the only thing recently. It's massive. It's a really nice piece. It's a lot bigger than I ever pictured.
It's basically the same height as your Iron Studio Sentinel piece, right?
It's actually a little taller actually than Storm's cape. So it's a huge piece.
Cool.
Congratulations, that's a cool piece.
That piece, Loco, came with 2 torsos on Juggernaut, didn't it?
Yep.
One with tattoos and one without.
The regular armor.
What one do you use?
The armor.
Yeah, that's what I would use too. I'm not. I think tattoos look cool, but it's not my thing. I want the classic.
If you read the comic books, it doesn't make any sense.
No,
I think that's a piece that could have benefited from that extra torso not being there and selling it cheaper.
Yeah, it should have been an option.
If I remember, it wasn't even much, and that's the reason why I ended up getting it. I think it was like $75 more for the extra torso.
Oh well, yeah, that's $75. You got to do that. I was thinking like $300, $400 more. Because it's huge, right?
It was so comparable to what we were paying. I forget what the original price was. That it was like just go ahead and throw it in.
With custom groups, when they have like large swap outs or additions, it's actually not that much to upgrade to it. Like the Black Panther that was recently shipped, where he's standing on the top of his vibranium, and when you see the Panther, like that has an option for 2 bases, and the difference in price between those versions, between getting 1 base and 2 bases, is only $100. It's a whole base. So there's a lot of custom statue companies that offer those options, and it's not like, you know, with the licensed company like Prime One, you know, if you want a whole nother bust or edition, something like that, you're gonna pay a minimum $300 for it.
Vision, you got anything coming up? Anything going on?
I was actually looking at this pure art statue that I think Todd has $400. I'm like, wow. I always wanted to start that line, but I just haven't yet because I have other things on the list. But I mean, it's half off, so I might pick it up tomorrow. I'm looking at videos tonight to see, you know.
We better see you with it tomorrow then.
Say it again.
We better see you with it tomorrow.
Are you what are you going to be on with anybody tomorrow for the Prime One?
Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow. I think it's 5:30 my time. So on
Vision's gonna be on all the shows at the same time tomorrow. He's gonna find a way to stream on every single one.
Well, my thing, my screen is I'm gonna support everybody. I'm like, you know, I'm gonna just put it there. Me put all the likes, put in the comments and stuff like that. You know, dib and dab everywhere.
Well, as for me, sometime this weekend, expect a live unboxing.
Nice. I'm looking forward to
Friday
that.
or Saturday, one of those days. So,
have you looked at it at all? Like unboxing?
No,
like looked at?
I haven't, bro. I haven't, bro.
It could be bricks.
I hope not. I mean, because I picked it up from the guy, so I hope it's not any breaks on it. So
It's a bunch of rocks in the box.
Rocks, come on, rocks and bricks and yeah.
Oh, let that happen.
Just a Polaroid of this.
Would you drive back or would you
Let it
fly?
happen live. Let it happen live.
If I drive back, I can bring my own weapons. So
Jarhead live on a road trip with Jarhead.
yeah, vengeance
That's
is
a
mine.
hard way to drive to be that angry, man.
Yeah, just let it fester for like 9
By the time
hours.
you get there, you're not even that mad no more. Like 9 hours
I
later.
know, right? I was never the meet me after school kind of kid. Like I can't like if that was the case, I'm like, hey, by that time I'm gonna forget about it. I just want to go home. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, we got this right here, right
Nah,
now.
for that much money, nah, I get more mad. Like,
Oh, but yeah,
like,
yeah, that's
I gotta refill up the tank. I'm hungry now.
You have time to get mad at least 3-4 more times.
Yeah.
a whole other road trip. Yeah.
And then like you have to argue with your girl because your girl like ain't gonna believe that something happened that you going again for another 18 hours. Like who you gonna go really see type shit.
You really like playing it out. Like, yeah, that would be a whole frustrating deal. But nah, he's good.
All right, well, I appreciate you guys, everybody coming on. D3, it's good to see you as always.
Yeah, good to be back.
Yeah, hopefully
I'm gonna be like sick making his return every 2 weeks.
It's
I'm
my
like,
official
Sick,
return.
Just stay. Every time you come back, it's a return.
Thanks everybody for showing up tonight. Everybody in the panel, everybody out there in the ether watching this. Appreciate you. Peace.
Take